For 30 years, there was only one answer to the big question: where do we build it? There was one destination for factories, one supply chain hub, one undeniable engine of global growth: China. But today, in boardrooms from California all the way to Stuttgart, executives are asking a brand new question: can we build it in India instead? Now, this isn't just about finding cheaper labor. This is a seismic shift. It's a potential great Asian divorce that could redraw the entire world's economic map. We're moving beyond the old China plus one strategy. Now, the question is becoming China or India. Today, we're going to break down the hard data behind what might be the most consequential corporate decision of our lifetime. Let's start with the headline numbers because, on the surface, India looks like the obvious heir. It has a younger, faster-growing population. The median age in India is just over 28, while in China it's over 38. Labor costs are roughly half of China's, and India's GDP is growing at around 7%, while China's is closer to 5%. But this isn't a simple spreadsheet swap. What we're really comparing here are two fundamentally different economic operating systems. China's system is a state-led infrastructure-first model. It was built over 4 decades into the world's most integrated and powerful manufacturing ecosystem. India, on the other hand, is a democratic, services-first and consumption-driven giant that is now trying to build that same manufacturing muscle. So, the real battle isn't about which country is better. It's about which system can deliver on 3 crucial pillars: manufacturing capability, supply chain depth, and strategic stability. Let's tackle the first pillar: manufacturing depth. Here's the uncomfortable reality for many people. India is not China, and it may never even aim to be. China built the world's factory by focusing relentlessly on the supply side. We're talking about massive state investment in ports, roads, power grids, and entire factory towns. They created these unparalleled clusters where literally every component you need for an iPhone can be made within a few square miles. Think of places like Shenzhen for electronics or Yiwu for consumer goods. India's growth story is completely different. It's been powered by its massive domestic demand, over 1 billion consumers, and its world-class IT services sector. Its manufacturing challenge is that last mile of complex assembly and precision engineering. Now, don't get me wrong, India is a pharmaceutical powerhouse, and it's making huge strides in smartphone assembly. It's now the world's second largest producer. But here's the catch: it still imports a vast quantity of the intermediate goods, the parts inside the parts, from, you guessed it, China. So, you could say India is successfully building the factory floor, but China still owns the global tool shop. This brings us directly to the second pillar: the supply chain gap. Let's look at Apple's experience, as it's the perfect case study. Moving about 5 to 7% of iPhone production to India is a massive strategic win for Apple, but it also shines a bright light on the existing gap. The process involves importing high-value components, often from China, for final assembly in India. For India to become a true alternative, a genuine replacement, it needs its own network of thousands of local suppliers. That's a process that took China decades of focused effort to build. China's manufacturing power comes from its incredibly dense, internal ecosystem. India's potential, however, may lie in a totally different model: integration with a broader Asian network that includes countries like Vietnam, Thailand, and Bangladesh. So, maybe India isn't meant to replace China's self-contained ecosystem. Instead, it could become the leader of a diversified, multi-country China plus an alternative. That's a very different, but equally powerful, proposition. And that leads us to our third and final pillar: strategic stability and the future. This is where geopolitics smashes right into economics. For Western corporations, the buzzword of the decade is de-risking. It isn't just about cost anymore. It's about reducing the critical dependency on a single country, especially one that is now a major geopolitical rival. India, as the world's largest democracy, offers a very compelling narrative of strategic alignment with the West. It speaks the same language of democratic values. However, China offers a scale, a speed, and an efficiency that is, for now, completely unmatchable. You simply can't replicate it overnight. So, the future probably isn't a binary replacement. It's not going to be India and China out. What we're likely to see is a splitting of the streams. By volume, cost-sensitive, and politically neutral goods will probably stay in China's orbit. It just makes economic sense. But strategically sensitive tech things like semiconductors, critical technologies, and defense-adjacent manufacturing and goods destined for Western consumers are increasingly flowing to India and other friendly nations. So, this divorce is less like a clean break and more like a separation of assets into different portfolios. You keep some investments in one, and you build up new investments in another. So, let's circle back to the original question: can India replace China? The answer is no, and that's the whole point. The world isn't actually looking for a single replacement anymore. It's looking for strategic redundancy. It's building resilience. India isn't competing to be the next China. It's competing to be the first India. a massive consumption market in its own right that is also developing deep manufacturing capabilities in select strategic sectors. It's powered by its unique digital public infrastructure and its incredible demographic energy. China will remain the world's manufacturing superpower for the foreseeable future. That's not really up for debate. But its monopoly is broken. The Great Asian Divorce isn't about one winner taking all. It's about building a new, more resilient, and multipolar global economy, where two Asian giants follow two very different playbooks for the rest of the world. For companies and for countries, the winning strategy isn't to pick a side. It's to learn how to successfully do business with both. Let's break it down to the bottom line. China's edge is its unmatched ecosystem, its sheer scale, and its ruthless efficiency. India's edge is its demographic momentum, its strategic alignment with the West, and its digital innovation. The future isn't replacement, it's bifurcation. The new logic will be, build for China's market, but build with India for the world's market. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. See you next time.